Hello again and welcome to the Faster Than the World podcast, the premier NXT podcast in the whole internet. I am Jake.
This is the Amazing Fritz.
How you doing today, Fritz? It looks like a new mask you got there.
It's my casual weekend mask, but thank you for noticing.
Yeah, no problem. What'd you think of the week's show, Fritz?
It's fantastic. Lots of good matches, building up for next week's big show. I'm excited. Good stuff.
We kicked off the show tonight with the best faction in the whole WWE universe right now.
I think they need a name. I think I'm going to call them the Staten Island Strike Force.
Enzo Amore, Big Cass, and the newer addition, Carmella, Bada Bing, baddest chick in the ring. She came out and they introduced Big Cass and Enzo Amore introduced her to come out and wrestle new Emma. Emma used to be my favorite lady in NXT, but I think Carmella's quickly surpassing her with the finisher. Was so sick. It was like
I don't know what they call that finisher, so I'm going to call that the please do that to me.
I think it was like like a sharpshooter headlock.
Some kind of submission neck lock with the leg region, and she does it like a handstand and flexes her abs, and definitely they are playing to her assets.
For sure. And then we had
solid match. Emma breaking from her original character in NXT, where she was kind of a lovable goofball, kind of similar to kind of Bayley in a way, but now I think she's taken a slightly more serious turn. Yeah. She didn't play to the crowd as much. She didn't do her dancing as much. Didn't help her in any way, but
yeah. I'm kind of disappointed with the way that her career has gone. Like here she is jobbing out in NXT, and when they brought her up initially, I was really looking forward to seeing what she was going to be doing. But ever since Santino's left, they really haven't had anything to do with her.
Well, I'm not sure they're putting her down on NXT permanently because she was on Superstars this week also.
Oh, really?
So, yep.
Okay, that's cool.
And I still think of that trio, Enzo is still the most entertaining of the three, far and away, until you put him in the ring. As long as he's not wrestling, he's incredibly entertaining. He steals the scene anytime he's on camera. The little stuff he does just jumps out. He's fantastic. He's an amazing talker.
This is true. And then after that, we had the next match in the tournament for the number one contender shot, Adrian Neville versus Baron Corbin. I thought it was a great match, especially since Baron Corbin, you can kind of tell he's a little newer, but I think he held his own toward the end in this match before.
I think it started off a little awkward. I felt like Neville was going a little quicker than Corbin could handle, and then Corbin tried to speed up, and Neville tried to slow down. And it took them a few minutes to get onto a rhythm, but I think the match played out really well. They played up Corbin as being a big guy and strong and a bulldozer really well, and they also played up Adrian Neville as the underdog, the small guy that can still fight and still go at it. Mm-hmm. The finish was no surprise. I believe we both called it last week. Yeah, Bull Dempsey interference.
Yeah, that was
continuing with that feud,
and that set up for the. So Adrian Neville ended up hitting the Falcon's arrow based on the Bull Dempsey interference.
Oh, that's the red arrow.
The red arrow. Sorry, yeah, the Falcon.
Falcon's arrow is Hayabusa's suplex powerbomb.
Yes. And then that set up for the no disqualification match. They announced it a little later on in the show, but I guess it just fits well to just say it here. Yep. Bull Dempsey and Baron Corbin for the NXT Arrival show.
They also had a short Sami Zayn promo explaining why he wanted it to be a title match with Kevin Owens and leading into next week's big show.
Yeah, and then we went into Bayley and Becky Lynch.
Yep.
It was a solid match. Just kind of. They didn't really get too much time there, but it was nice. Sasha Banks ends up throwing Becky Lynch in the ring.
She came out halfway through the match. She didn't come out at the start with her. She came out halfway through the match and originally encouraged Becky Lynch, but then kind of turned on her.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it was a kind of a stare-down face-off amongst all four ladies because Charlotte once again came out too.
There was no reason. I don't really think there was reason for Charlotte to come out.
Other than them just trying to get all four of them on camera to remind you that they're having a match next week. But, yeah, it didn't make sense in the continuity because Charlotte doesn't care about any of these chicks, so let them beat the crap out of each other. Yeah. Smart champion would have done that. Yeah. The Nature Boy would have done that.
I think it would have been better if they just, had a little less stare down and then maybe go to a short promo, or maybe just a shot of the back of Charlotte laughing would be a little bit better.
Or smirking, yeah, just nodding in approval.
Yeah.
And I want to point out that Corey Graves called out Becky Lynch for excessive use of the devil horns, and also, I guess he's listening to us because he said that she was the kind of person to wear the band's T-shirt to the show, much like my comment last week about those guys wearing those Kevin Owens shirts. So thanks for being on our side, Corey. Thanks for being on our side.
I like it. And Bailey ends up winning with the Bailey to Belly. And then we had Kevin Owens.
Which is a great name for a finisher. But if you want to see somebody really do that move great, look up old Magnum TA. I don't think that guy's a great wrestler, but man, he threw a belly to belly on somebody like you wouldn't believe.
And then we went into a Kevin Owens promo. Just pretty much, he was saying like he was claiming that he was happy for Sami Zayn for winning, but he just pretty much wanted the title. And Sami Zayn earlier mentioned that he's not buying that it is kind of personal. I'm really excited for this match because I've seen them wrestle before, but I want to say that this feud's missing something in the NXT realm.
It feels rushed, and Kevin Owens' promos just lack emotion, which I guess is kind of his angle, that he'll fight anybody anytime. But if you're going to fight anybody anytime, you got to have some kind of drive, like something that gets you amped up.
Yeah, and then we went into a Tyler Breeze promo.
There was also a tease for upcoming talent about Solomon Crow, who's a Sami Callihan. If you watch closely, it kind of broke in a little bit before they went to commercial.
Oh, I guess I didn't catch that. And then,
if you weren't paying real close attention, you would have missed it because I read that they did it last week too, and I missed it.
And then we, and then we went to your basic Tyler Breeze promo. Yep. It's kind of, I mean, they're still putting him on TV every week doing these promos, but that's, yeah, they're not really doing much with him.
Yeah, they're not pushing him, they're not dropping him, they're not developing him. It's kind of the same thing. Like, unless they're going to do something where somebody attacks him and, like, really, like, pours paint on him or something, or shaves his head or does something to turn him face, like, I don't know what they're going to do with him.
And
I like him, make no mistake about it. I want to see him, but...
Yeah. And then after that, we went into the main event, Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. Obviously, these guys have great credentials. I thought this match was going to be... I wish they had more time. I guess, it was just an NXT match for, your basic, TV match. But I thought it was really great. Finn Balor laid on this perfect dropkick. I know it is Prince, but still it should be mentioned that the dropkick was exquisite.
As crisp as a new dollar bill.
And he ended up taking it with the big stomp, putting Adrian Neville and Finn Balor for the number one contender shot.
Yeah, and Aaron Neville had joined the announced crew of Rich Brennan, Corey Graves, and the always disappointing Alex Riley for that last match. And then after Finn wins, they have kind of Aaron stands up on the announce table, gives him a standing O, a one-man standing O, which I don't know if that's impressive or disappointing. And then Neville hopped up on the ramp, and Finn and Aaron faced off. And truly, whenever you can see competitors who could legitimately have a beef, given that Finn is Irish and Aaron is English, they could legitimately dislike each other. Who knows?
Yeah, this is true.
Maybe one's a rugby fan and one's a soccer fan. Who knows?
Well, this will just we'll just go into some predictions here. I guess for
next week's NXT, either NXT Arrival or NXT Rival, the big 2-hour show coming up next Wednesday.
Yeah, pretty much. It's on the network, but it is the pay-per-view show. Well, who do you think's going to win for do you want to just run it in order, or do you want to?
Well, this is my guess in the order of the way the show is going to run is going to be it's going to start, I'm assuming, with the Lucha Dragons versus Blake and Murphy for the NXT Tag Title rematch. Which way do you think that's going, Jake?
I think there would be no reason to put the belts on Blake and Murphy and then take them off them at this point. If they're going to push them. I'm going with Blake and Murphy over the Lucha Dragons, even though I do think the Lucha Dragons are a better team.
I could see them taking the belts off them if they've got some other tag teams waiting in the rings and they're wanting to suddenly have a tag team storyline and make it seem like the division is very competitive. Like, at any week, you don't know if the belt's going to change hands. Like WCW used to do with the Cruiserweight belt, or WWE used to do with the Hardcore title. Like, you never know when somebody's going to come and steal that belt. Like, it's really competitive. If they do it that way, I'd like to see that. But, and of course, being a luchador, I got to go Lucha Dragons. But I won't be surprised if they don't win.
Okay. Well, let me keep up with this here.
Sure. Then, so you're calling Blake and Murphy?
Yeah, I'm calling Blake and Murphy.
I'm hoping for Lucha Dragons.
Okay. And then after that, we have the Bull Dempsey, Baron Corbin no DQ match. I'm going Corbin. They're trying to push him to the moon, and he's got incentive. I think there's going to be some maybe big spot at the top of a ramp, kind of a brawling match. I'm excited about this match between these two newer superstars.
I'm very excited about this match, although, again, I'm going to go the opposite of you. I'm going Bull Dempsey because I don't see why you're going to have these two guys introduced at the same time, initially set them both up as monsters, and then completely erase Bull Dempsey by having him lose clean 3 times in a row. Or unless it's a fighting spirit kind of thing where he just gets beat so bad you can't help but cheer for him, like a Tommy Dreamer kind of thing.
I'm not, yeah. And then the 4-Way Divas match, I'm going with Bayley on this one. I think they're pushing Bayley to the moon. You got the 2 heels, then you got the champion, and then you just have this face right there, the underdog face. I think it's a no-brainer. You give it to Bayley.
I think you got that exactly right, Jake. I think it's going Bayley, but I'm thinking for a different reason because I think Sasha and Charlotte may be moving up.
Yeah,
I think we may be seeing more of them on the big shows soon. Charlotte for sure, but Sasha most likely.
Yeah, I mean, and we already saw Carmella. They already got some newer ladies in the NXT.
Alexa Bliss, and I've seen a couple other people too that we haven't seen on TV yet.
That's cool. And then after that, the number 1 contender shot, Finn Balor versus Adrian Neville. We actually watched these guys wrestled in Japan a few years ago. We ended up.
Just last week we watched this match.
Yeah, and it was great. Then, of course, it's gonna be a little more faster than the NXT style, WWE style, but it is it is what it is.
Well, since it's one of their pay-per-view shows, there's always a glimmer of hope that maybe we can get a little bit quicker than a WWE pace match.
Yeah.
Maybe some more high spots. Who knows? Who are you calling on this one?
I'm saying Finn Balor. Adrian Neville already had the title. They're pushing Finn to the moon. He's already got a T-shirt. He's been there for like 6 months. I'm going Finn Balor. So then they have Finn Balor versus the title holder.
I'm undecided on this one. I agree that I think they're pushing Finn Balor to the moon. I'm using their Adrian Neville pronunciation there. I think they're pushing him to the moon. I see a definite upside on him winning. However, I would rather them wait a little longer for him to get a title shot. So I feel like if he wins the title shot at the next week, then they're going to give him a title shot on one of the regular shows. I'd rather see him get a title shot on one of the big shows. So it could go Adrian Neville, but most likely Finn Balor.
Okay. And then main event, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. This has already been I think we mentioned this before, this has already been the feud of the year for Wrestling Observer. It's obviously going to be a great match. These guys, I think they've probably wrestled more so than Baron Corbin's actually wrestled matches. So they obviously know each other. I'm going Sami Zayn. You can't have this kind of a douchebag heel type character come in and take it off your champion like that. I don't know, unless there's a...
I see the way they've played Sami Zayn is he's this underdog that's always fighting to get somewhere. Like, they made it a big, long storyline for him to get to the title. So I think they like having him having a goal to work towards. So I think if Kevin Owens cheats and steals it, you got Sami Zayn back in that underdog role working to get the title off the heel champ. So I could see it going Kevin Owens' way.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I prefer Sami Zayn, but because Kevin hasn't shown me anything to say that he deserves the belt yet. But I think storyline-wise, it would work.
I can see that. I guess I'm just the wrestling family just wants to see the Finn Balor Sami Zayn match more so than the Kevin Owens.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that was what I was touching on before. Is I'd like for it to be built more and be on a big show. Then I feel it might be kind of rushed if they do it. Finn wins, Sami wins.
Yeah, that's true.
I think on the Stone Cold podcast, Triple H said that he's a fan of the slow burn. maybe they'll give them a slow burn for these guys. Let it build.
Oh, did you listen to the Triple H podcast?
Yes. The highlights of it for me was when he talked about NXT, and the rest of it I don't want to discuss.
Okay.
But it's seeing him talk about, developing talent with these guys and working with them and being excited and seeming genuinely excited to bring in talent and want them to understand the WWE way of doing things. That was interesting.
Yeah. Peter, and if you listen to the PJTW podcast, Peter said the same thing, but I just hear Triple H talk so much on Raw every week. I'm tired of hearing him. So,
I fast forward through him every week. So yeah. This was a different take for me.
Awesome.
A couple things I want to talk about for this week's show. A couple things I noticed that I really liked. I liked that they're working on entrances with people, that they're definitely incorporating that overhead video screen. I like Finn Balor's throw his hands up when the lights come up. Mm-hmm. It's not the same as Undertaker, but it's still kind of dramatic. I wish he'd kind of ditched the little crawling around bit, because that's kind of weird to me. But
I get like a Jeff Hardy kind of vibe, like not necessarily in the like more modern, like he's not going to wear the baggy pants.
He's
and
an artiste,
in the
same way.
But I think it's going to be the same kind of crowd. Like young goth girls are going to flock to him just like they did Jeff Hardy, which is awesome.
Gotcha. And two things I didn't care for as much this week. Once again, the announcers need a lot of work. Alex Riley seems disinterested in it. Corey Graves is working hard. Corey Graves is fantastic in his transition.
Especially, past few months.
Their lead announcer, Rich Brennan, I guess he needs to spend some time watching Jim Ross or watching some old wrestling and understand, like, telling a story and building up, and the importance of calling moves correctly in building a story.
That guy, you have more hope for him than I do. I think they need to kind of just push him to the wayside. They got Corey Graves right there. He needs to be the main announcer. He's already better than him, so why not use that?
Yep. And the another thing that I dislike, and I've disliked it, and I've mentioned this before, I love and hate the fans in the NXT arena. I love that they're behind everybody. That's fantastic. I like seeing them pop when they're supposed to. I hate when they go into Mark Overdrive. Like before Finn Balor and Hideo Itami even locked up, they were chanting, "This is awesome." Give the guys a chance to do something before you start chanting that they're awesome.
Yeah.
You're reacting to nothing. That doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help them learn what they're supposed to do. It doesn't make the show better. Calm down. Clap when you're supposed to. If there's nothing happening, don't react.
Or I definitely agree with that.
Or you can just cheer for either one of them, but don't say "this is awesome" when they're standing there. That's silly. What's awesome about two guys standing there?
This is true.
And when you chant "this is awesome" for that, it negates chanting it when something awesome happens.
Yeah, the "this is awesome" chant is definitely overdone in today's wrestling, but
absolutely.
I guess it's time for a new chant. I think we need to come up with something.
Bring
guys.
back the "holy shit" chant. Come on, ECW style. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Well, that being said, I think this is wrapping it up. Hit me up on Twitter, JG Pro Wrestling. Ask me any questions or tell me I'm wrong. I'd love to argue with you on the internet. And we also have a PJTW Central Wrestling Twitter. That there is PJTW, and we're working on the website. Also, we got everything on SoundCloud, guys. I guess I'll see you next week.
Check back in next week. Big show next week. NXT Arrival. We're going to review the whole thing.
Yep, sounds great. Later.
See ya.